Sure, great. So I will start then with House Bill 8310. Rhode Island Kids Count would like to voice its opposition to this bill. We would like to thank the House of Representatives for passing House Bill 6649, which would require the Department of Education to work in collaboration with the Attorney General's office to collect really important data around SROs in our schools, the number of students who are referred to law enforcement, the number of students who are arrested through their interactions with SROs. Rhode Island Kids Count wants to thank you for your commitment to using data to inform policy decisions. So right now in Rhode Island, we do not currently have complete, up-to-date, and accurate information on the number and use of SROs in all of our schools in Rhode Island, but I will share with you the information that we do know. So nationally, research suggests the presence of law enforcement worsens school climates, increases disciplinary actions, and disproportionately impacts the academic outcomes of students of color. We also know nationally that SROs can serve many functions in schools, including enforcement and student discipline. We also know in Rhode Island during the 2015-2016 school year, which is the most recent data that we have available, Black, Hispanic, and students with individual education plans are disproportionately overrepresented in the number of students who are referred to law enforcement and student arrests. I've included in my written testimony a chart with that data so you can review it. You will also hear in testimony today additional data around Providence Public Schools that will be presented by students from the Providence Alliance for Student Safety. So that's the information that we have. We also know that student arrest and juvenile detention increases a student's likelihood of future arrests, decreases their likelihood of completing high school, and may result in long-lasting consequences, including restricted eligibility for federal grants, student loans, and barriers to college enrollment and employment. Restorative practices, social-emotional learning, positive disciplinary practices are effective approaches for addressing student behavior and helping to create positive student-teacher relationships, improve student sense of belonging, and build safe schools. We understand that the intention of this bill is to help keep our kids safe, and we want this too. But we strongly support efforts to increase the hiring of new mental health professionals in our schools, and we also want to share our extreme gratitude to the House of Representatives for the work you have done to pass common sense gun safety bills this session. Both limiting access to guns and ensuring that students have access to needed mental health supports are important strategies for keeping our children, our schools, and our communities safe. That concludes my testimony on 8310.
I probably should have asked this of Representative Beer, but maybe you would know. Where do teachers in general stand on the
Yes.
School officers?
That's a great question. I believe there are teachers here signed up to provide testimony today.
Okay. Well, I'm saying, is it 50-50? I know that there may be some that are opposed, but do you know?
So I don't think there's not data collected around that, so I wouldn't be able to give you that information.
Okay. And also, I'm quite aware that districts are very varied, but in my own district, I can't agree with the information that you put out that it's so detrimental to the children to have resource officers. In fact, our resource officer in my district has received national awards for the way he interacts with the students. My daughter just graduated from there, and he has a wonderful relationship with the students. So I'm just wondering, is there a possibility that there could be an element in some of these other districts where police officers have been so demonized by the mainstream media that, that they're not respected? They're
So I think what I'm hearing in your question too is exactly why passing House Bill 6649 was so important. And again, I want to thank you all for passing that data collection bill. Because I think if we look at the data, we'll be able to get a better understanding of how many SROs there are. First, we don't really have that data. How are they used in schools? What are their connection to the students' arrests and referrals that we do have the data on? So I think we need more information that would maybe help to answer some of the questions you have. And I think before there's any kind of additional additional investments put into these roles, we really need to understand what they're doing and how it connects to the data that we do have. The data that we do have is that our Black, Hispanic, and students with disabilities are disproportionately impacted by the presence of and being referred to students, to law enforcement for student arrest. That data we definitely do have and know. So I think that's really important to consider and to look at. But thank you for your question.
Right, and
Yeah.
I guess my question was more like, is this, well, you know, and maybe you're right, maybe we do need more information, but, you know, I don't know if we should put it all on law enforcement because they're evil, that's all, you know? I'm sure that there's a lot of good law enforcement members that are trying to do a good job. Thank you.